Next topic, the characteristics of mixtures. So in this first point, the constituents in a mixture may be present in any ratio or proportion. So we can understand this by taking an example. For example, sugar solution. So here if we make the sugar solution by taking 1 glass of water, and here if we mix the 1 spoonful of sugar. So after mixing 1 spoonful of sugar in 1 glass of water, we can say this is the sugar solution. And also we can make the sugar solution by mixing more than 1 spoonful of sugar, means by mixing the 2 spoonfuls of sugar in 1 glass of water, 3 spoonfuls of sugar in 1 glass of water, 5 spoonfuls of sugar in 1 glass of water. So we can say these are the sugar solution. So here we can see no any definite proportion, and also we can mix the 5 spoonfuls of sugar in 1 tank of water. So here also we will say sugar solution. Means we can say here no any definite proportion of the components, those are present in the mixture. No any definite proportion of the constituents, those are present in the particular mixture. And after this second point, the mixture does not have any specific property of its own. So mixture does not have any specific property. Those constituents present in the mixture exhibit the original properties. So here those components, those constituents are present in the mixture exhibit its own properties. Exhibit its properties. So here we can say, suppose that if you see the sugar solution made by the 2 components, 2 constituents, sugar and water. So in this way, this sugar solution does not have any specific property. So here after mixing we are getting the sugar solution, and this sugar solution made by the 2 components, sugar and water, and these sugar and water shows the property, means sugar and water exhibit their properties in the sugar solution. Original properties means sugar and water exhibit the original properties. And after this here, next third point, that mixture does not have fixed melting point and boiling point. So here it has no any fixed melting point or boiling point. And for example, suppose that if we take the salt solution, means salt solution made by mixing up 1 spoonful of salt in 1 glass of water. So if we mix the 1 spoonful of salt in 1 glass of water, will have the different boiling point than the mixing of 5 spoonfuls of salt in 1 glass of water. So here we can say no any definite melting point, no any definite boiling point, no any fixed melting point and boiling point. So this change. So here in this example we can easily understand that if we mix the 1 spoonful of salt in 1 glass of water, so in this condition by mixing we will get the salt solution, and the boiling point of this salt solution totally different from the other salt solution in which 5 spoonfuls of salt in 1 glass of water dissolved. So totally different. So we cannot say that the mixture has, means the mixture does not have the fixed melting point and boiling point. Next property, that we can separate the constituents of the mixture. We can separate the constituents of the mixture by the physical means, simple physical means. So here we can see this is the sugar solution, and easily we can separate the sugar and water by the physical means. So by the evaporation process, means by heating, water molecules evaporate and in the last finally we will get the sugar particles at the bottom of the glass. Means suppose that for example if you take sugar solution in the evaporating disk, sugar solution in the evaporating disk, and if you give the heat energy, if you heat this, so in this way water molecule evaporates, and in the last sugar particles, solid material deposited at the bottom, means sugar particles left in the evaporating disk. So in this way we can separate the components of the mixture by the physical means, by the simple physical means. We can separate the constituents of the mixture by physical means. And after this states of constituents of mixture, these are given. So here different types of mixture: solid solid mixture, solid liquid mixtures, liquid liquid mixture, liquid gas, gas gas, solid gas. So here if we take the state of the constituent solid solid, means this mixture made by the solid solid substance. For example, if you mix the salt NaCl, common salt, NaCl and sand, so we can say this is the mixture of solid solid. Means NaCl, this is the solid substance, and the sand material, this is also solid in state. So here solid solid mixture we can say. And also we can mix the sand and chalk powder. This is the example. And this solid and liquid mixture. Solid and liquid mixture means sugar solution we can take, sugar in the solid state and the water in the liquid form, and salt in the water, chalk powder in the water. So these are the examples. And after this liquid mixture, so liquid mixture we can take the oil and water. Oil, this is in liquid, and water also in the liquid state. Alcohol and water, we can mix the alcohol and water, these are in liquid state. So liquid mixture we can say. And after this liquid gas means soda, aerated drinks, oxygen in water, means here liquid and gas means one substance should be in liquid state and the second in gaseous state. So oxygen in water. So in this example, in the water oxygen gas present, means oxygen this is in gaseous state and water this is in liquid state. So we can say here liquid gas example. In the soda also that carbon dioxide gas present in the water. And after this gas mixture, so gas mixture we can take the air, best example. So different type of gases are present here: oxygen, nitrogen, carbon dioxide. Many different types of gases are present in the air. And solid gas example here smoke we can take. So smoke here soot particles present, means heavy carbon particles are present in the air. Soot particles. Soot means carbon, high percentage of the carbon present. So this is the smoky thing. So smoky, and here high percentage of carbon present. And soot we can get if we burn the rubber or tire. So in this way smoky means smoke develop, blackish smoke develop. So in this blackish smoke we can say here this soot means high percentage of carbon present. So solid materials present here. In this we can say solid gas. Air here gas, and soot particles means heavy solid particles are present in that. So we can say solid gas mixtures. Smoke we can take this example. And the next difference between compounds and mixtures. So you know very well, you have studied about the compounds and mixtures. So these differences between compounds and mixtures given. And next is separation of mixtures. So here in this topic, separation of mixtures. what is the need to separate the components from the mixture? Separation of mixture. So here for the different purposes we can separate the components from the mixture. We can separate the constituents from a mixture. So first point, to remove a harmful or undesirable component. To remove the harmful or undesirable component. So suppose that if you take the water, so in the water different type of heavy materials present, microorganisms present, bacteria, fungi, algae, these are present, and heavy materials, sand particles present. So these are present in the water. So first of all, many toxic substance also present, oil present. So to remove a harmful or undesirable component, so from this water we have to remove these substance, and for making means by removing these substance, this is useful for drinking purpose. Means we can drink if we remove all the heavy materials, microorganisms, if we remove these things. So this is useful for drinking purpose. Means we can drink this, and we can say we can change this water into the potable water. Means potable water means for drinking purpose we use. And the second, to obtain a useful substance. To obtain a useful substance means if we take the petroleum oil. So petroleum oil means a different type of substance present here. We can say this has the petrol, diesel, kerosene, many different types of substances present in the petroleum oil. So these are very useful, petrol, diesel, kerosene, and these are useful as a fuel. So in this way here we can use these substance. So here to obtain useful substance from the petroleum oil, we can get the petroleum, diesel and kerosene, and after getting we can use these for the different purposes. To obtain the pure sample of a mixture. So here to obtain the pure sample of a mixture. So here many substances are required in the pure form. Many substances are required in the pure form for scientific research and making medicines. And next, principle of separation. So here in this topic, principle of separation, we know that a mixture made by more than one constituent, and each constituent has its own properties. So here the difference in their properties forms the principle of separation. So here for the separation of the constituent from a mixture, we use the different techniques, we use the different methods for the separation of constituent from a mixture. And these methods based on the nature of the mixture, and also these methods based on the properties of the constituents of a mixture. So here first mixture type we are taking solid mixture. Separation of solid mixture. So solid mixture, we know that mixture of sand and chalk powder, this is the solid mixture, means both are in solid state. And also we can take the sand and salt, mixture of sand and salt. So here this is also the solid mixture. So here for the separation of solid mixture, we can use, means sometimes we can use the simple methods. Simple methods means hand picking, winnowing, sieving, magnetic separation. These are the simple methods for the separation. And in some cases we use the other methods, and in this one important method, sublimation. So sublimation method useful for the separation of solid mixture. And first of all, what is the sublimation method, sublimation process? Sublimation process means one solid substance directly changed to gaseous state or vapor state without changing into the liquid state. So this process is called the sublimation. Sublimation means one solid substance directly changed to gaseous or vapor state without changing into the liquid state. And this process is called the sublimation, and the solid substance is called the sublime. Means the solid substance has the ability to directly change to gaseous state or vapor state without changing into the liquid state. So this solid substance we can say sublime. This is the sublime substance. And here principle. So here what is the principle here? In the principle means one substance should be sublime. So if you are taking the means more than one constituent, so here one substance should be sublime. So this is helpful. So for example, suppose that here one mixture we can take. Mixture of sodium chloride and ammonium chloride. If we take the sodium chloride ammonium chloride mixture, so both are in solid state, means this is the example of solid mixture. And in this we will use the sublimation. What is the reason? Because here ammonium chloride, this is the sublime substance, and this NaCl sodium chloride, this is non-sublime substance. So in this mixture we can use the sublimation process. This is very helpful for the separation of these constituents. So here we will take these substance, means this mixture in the evaporating disk, that NaCl mixture and ammonium chloride, both are in solid state. So this is the mixture of NaCl and ammonium chloride, and this covered by the one glass funnel, and this glass funnel end closed by the cotton plug. This is the cotton plug, and we will heat this. This is the tripod stand. Bunsen burner. So if we heat, so this ammonium chloride, this is the sublime substance, and this ammonium chloride change into the gaseous form, in the vapor form, and NaCl remain here, remain in the evaporating disk. NaCl left in the evaporating disk, and this ammonium chloride changed to gaseous form, means vapor form. And after this we will cool this, means this ammonium chloride changed to gaseous form, and then after this we will cool, and after cooling these vapor of the ammonium chloride settles on the wall of the funnel, and this change into the solid form. So by cooling we can get the ammonium chloride again in the solid form. So first of all we will provide the heat energy, and by heating this ammonium chloride, this is the sublime substance, directly change into the gaseous form or vapor form, and NaCl remains, because NaCl, this is the non-volatile substance, and this has no any ability to change into the gaseous form, means a non-volatile substance. NaCl, non-volatile, ammonium chloride, sublime substance. So by giving the heat energy, ammonium chloride change to gaseous form or vapor form, and after this we will cool, and by cooling ammonium chloride vapor settle on the wall of the funnel, and this change into the solid form, and by this we can separate. So here by this procedure we can get the ammonium chloride again in the solid form, in the pure form. So this is the mixture of NaCl and ammonium chloride. By heating, ammonium chloride change to vapor form, and by cooling, these ammonium chloride settles on the wall, of the funnel, and we can get again in the solid form, separately in the pure form. So here in this ammonium chloride, no any particles of sodium chloride. So only ammonium chloride we will get by cooling in the solid form. So by this method easily we can separate the components. And here principle, in this principle means one solid substance should be sublime and another is non-sublime. And after this sublimation, many examples are we can separate here, that we can, such as ammonium chloride, we can take separation of substance such as ammonium chloride, iodine, camphor, dry ice, naphthalene, anthracene and benzoic acid. So these substance we can separate by using the sublimation process. And next, separation of solid liquid mixture. So here solid liquid mixture means one solid and the second liquid, this type of mixture here. So here for this we use the method sedimentation and decantation. So here principle, in a solid liquid mixture, the insoluble heavy material settle down, solid material settle down in the bottom of the liquid in the container due to the gravity. So this is the principle. So first of all we will see what is the sedimentation, decantation. Sedimentation and decantation here given. Suppose that if we take one beaker and this is the mixture, solid liquid mixture. For example, in this beaker, if we are taking the water or any container, we can take water here and we will mix the sand particle. In the water. So this is the water, and if we mix the sand particle and if we allow this for the some time, if we allow in some hour, we can say, if we keep stand for the some time. So in this way, after that 1-2 hours, we will see here very clearly that the sand particle settle down, and the clear liquid present above the sand layer. So one layer develop, sand layer means sand particle settle down at the bottom of the utensil, and one clear liquid we will get. This is called supernatant. This liquid called supernatant. Supernatant liquid. And the sand particles layer, this called sediment. So if we allow for the some time, then we will see that sand particles settle down and this develop the sediment layer, means all the sand particles settle at the bottom of the container. So here we will get the one layer, sediment layer. Here sand particle deposited, and above the sediment layer, that is clear liquid we will get, clear water. This is called supernatant liquid. So this is called the sedimentation. So here first of all we mix the water and sand and we allow for the some time. So we can observe, means here after some time we will get the two layers. First here down of this container sediment and the second supernatant liquid. So here the sand particles settle down at the bottom of the container. So we get the one layer, this is called sediment layer, and above the sediment layer that water, clear water present. So this is called supernatant liquid, and this is called the sedimentation process. So yes, all the sand particles deposited and this change into the layer form sediment, and this is called the sedimentation. And after this, by pouring, if we pour this supernatant liquid in another container, another beaker. So by pouring the supernatant liquid in another beaker or in another container without disturbing the sediment, so this process is called the decantation. So if we transfer the liquid material, supernatant liquid, in another utensil without disturbing the sediment layer, so this process is called the decantation. So sedimentation means here this process, and pouring the supernatant liquid in another beaker or in another utensil without disturbing the sediment layer, so this process is called the decantation. So here this is the sedimentation and decantation, and principal